This is a quick overview of the Concrete 5 content management system. We're going to give a tour of it. We're going to talk about how a user would use it, as well as the pros and cons of it in comparison to other content management systems. So let me get this up a second. This is an example of the Concrete 5 content management system. This is kind of a basic install of how it comes out of the box. So you can see you've got your pages, you've got your blog, basic features that you expect from most websites. Now let me take you straight to the login section, and I'm actually going to log in with my user details. So once you're logged in, the first thing you'll notice is this bar. Now this bar is the editing bar. It can be used to do most things on the site. So let me give you a basic example. If I want to edit this page, I hover over edit and edit the page, and you've got the ability to actually customize and click on and edit things. So if I click edit on that, I can click on this and I can change things, and it's all very nice and easy. Let's say I want some advanced functionality, and I click on this editable area. You can add things called blocks. These are really bespoke little modules, so it could be anything from a Google map. So we want a Google map, you can put in where you want it, through to an image. So let's say we wanted to link an image into this location. Just choose an image, select it, and then add it. That's kind of like the quick and easy way of adding it in. So this is the biggest appeal of Concrete 5, is that on the surface of it, this way of editing a page is very intuitive, very easy to get to grips with, and you don't need to be a highly technical user to know how to do it. There's a dashboard. It's got various things such as sitemap, some reporting, user permission setting, blog writing, that sort of thing. And it's also got an intelligent search bar, which is nice, so regardless of where you are on the site, you can kind of search for something. So you might have Composer here, and you can see you can do various functions within Composer there. So that's kind of how that works. So if, once I'm done editing, I just click Publish My Edits, and if you want to edit a different page of the site, you just navigate to it and you can edit it. Nice and simple. Very, very clean, very simple. The biggest selling point of this. Some of the downsides, however, so remember, this is helping you make an informed decision on which content management system is right for you. A lot of the plugins are paid, so if you go to the add-ons repository, you've got a lot of modules here, but a lot of them are paid for modules. You may weigh up these paid modules against development time. However, it is common for content management systems to have a big range of free modules that can be edited, and these don't necessarily have them. The upside may be that if they're paid, they're likely to have more support. So if you click on Gallerific, for example, you can see it's kind of got details about response times and things on here, which is always nice to know. It means that you're not just buying a plugin, you're buying the development team behind it, which is always nice. But that's one thing to consider. Another thing is you might not like not having an admin dashboard. So though you've got this dashboard, every site edit you have to make is via doing it in line. There are some limitations to doing this. So for example, let's say you've got a rotator that's moving around. You can't really easily click on that rotator to edit it. So the rotator becomes a module, which is then a little bit more convoluted to edit. And sometimes if you've got a more complex build of site, that isn't ideal. Also from a development perspective, and this is where it's getting a little bit more technical, though Concrete 5 is built into a framework called Zend, and if you're a developer you know what Zend is. It's kind of a framework for developing PHP web applications essentially, but it's got a strict set of standards of how you program within it. Now this is a positive thing in some senses, because it means that generally if modules are made in it, they're going to be relatively well structured. But the downside is you can't as easily be quick and dirty, if that makes sense, with your coding. So if I wanted to put something in here that's just on this page, there was a really small snippet of code, I may be able to do it, but it's not quite as friendly as doing it in other content management systems. You're just going to have to take my word for it on that. In some senses, that framework's a positive thing, but in other senses, it may increase development time. Another positive thing is all throughout it does use conventions. So from a development perspective, it uses something called Bootstrap for structuring CSS of the site, which is nice. Tends to use commonly accepted standards. So I don't want to go into too much depth more than that, but I hope this has been a good overview of how it works and what you do. So the sorts of things that we can do is we can build sites in this framework. We can set up bespoke designs in it. We can help you. Actually, if you've got a cheaper budget, you may just want to go a themed route where you buy a theme and install it. So these, for example, $35. This is a theme that you could install within Concrete 5. There's that approach. You may have a bespoke job that you want done in Concrete 5. You may have a web application that you want to be easily editable in Concrete 5 that is built using Zend. Whatever it might be, this is a framework that you might want to consider for your project. So I'm Andrew from Scorchsoft, where we make complex web projects simple.